Recording in progress. All right, live and recording.
I'll be right back, girls.
Okay.
Okay.
And so it's so great to be here today to share the new year and just especially with all you beautiful people, all your energy. Am I hearing an echo?
I just turned it off.
Okay. Sorry. Anyways, that's what the new year is about, right? Okay. Just forgiving anything that, doesn't go exactly as planned. So we can get in that energy and just to share your beautiful light and energy and get together and usher us into this new year full of hope and joy.
So we just thought we'd jump on and we'd ask people to come and join us or listen to this in record. And just to start it out kind of right. Astrologically, this is a really big year for finding your soul tribe, for making sure you're with like-minded people, because there will be some more 3D challenges. And our job is to be watching the bigger spaces and the bigger places that are out there. So we thought we'd start this year out right and take a look and do a couple exercises. I hope you brought your cards or your crystals and some paper.
Some pen and paper. Yeah, and maybe Kitty will just kind of talk a little bit and let anybody know that's just joining us, hop onto the Zoom too, because we'd love to see your bright, shining faces. Or, and you know what, who cares, what your hair looks like or, I'm a Taurus though with the Leo rising. So it's something about the hair has to be just right. But the rest of the stuff, hey, we were just talking about having to put on pants, just that's the beauty of it. You don't have to.
So please, if you're watching us on Facebook, say hello that you're watching so we know who's on with us. We'll wait just a couple minutes. Did everybody have a nice New Year's Eve? Anybody make it to midnight?
I made it to midnight in Australia, so.
Hey, it was somewhere,
I think if I can use that as a criteria, then I made it to midnight somewhere too, Marie. Rock on.
Yeah.
10:30, otherwise Eastern Standard Time, but midnight somewhere else.
That's right.
I make it to midnight and then it's like, okay, 12:01, night.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a big rockin' evening, but it was nice.
Well, it combines with your anniversary though, so you have a little more incentive to be celebratory, like woohoo.
Yeah. So
where I'm I filled myself with lots of like hors d'oeuvres, and then I got tired because it probably wasn't, the food that fills your soul or gives you energy. It was more the stuff that satisfies, that other urge, I guess. I don't know. Sherry, what about you? Did you go anywhere, stay home?
We stayed home and we watched a movie. It was really good. Can't remember the name of it, but it had Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, and she was his receptionist, and they fell in love. But it was really, really good. I'll try to put that in your group so you'll know the name of it. But we stayed up till midnight. We had a great time. I don't really like to go anywhere because of the, there might be some drunk drivers. So
yeah.
And since I can't participate anymore, no one can have fun.
And who wants, I always think about that too, Sherry, and who wants the old lady that, is yawning at 10:30 and can't keep her eyes open at a party? That would be me.
Yeah. Well, Rick was keeping par with me, so it was all right.
So people are asking where the link is. It's at the top of the page. It says, here is the link. And there's also one.
Oh, but it's in that one, because see, you put it in the.
And it's also in the one that's got 2020, 2021, 22, the yoga people, that picture. But I did just list it by itself. Here is the link. Okay. And there is the link. And I just stuck it in the chat on Facebook too. So hopefully, because a couple people have asked, Marilyn says, just go for it. Is that the name of the movie, Sherry?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There's Sue.
All right.
All
Just
right.
go for it. Hey, you know what? And that's a perfect,
I think that's an absolutely perfect way to lead into what we're doing.
absolutely.
go for
Just go for
I
it.
think that's an absolutely perfect way to lead into what we're doing. All right, somebody's got to turn off their we're getting an echo. Hey, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Are we still echoing?
No.
Okay,
So,
good.
not anymore.
All right. So,
Hello, Sue.
hello, Sue. I saw that Cynthia asked for it too. Cynthia, do you see where the
Yeah, well, we'll just give it a few minutes for people because if they weren't able to find it, and
here it is again. I stuck it in the Facebook chat.
that's right.
I'm gonna run get some cards if we're supposed to bring cards. So hang on.
Yeah, cards and paper and pencil. So that's a good reminder, Sherry. Anybody out there, while we're kind of holding off, get some cards, paper and pencil, and then get yourself on.
Get yourself
wanna
on
see
or
you.
watch us live on Facebook if you
Well,
want.
that too. I just
Yeah.
like to see people. It's fun.
It's nice. It is nice, and it's about the group energy. We're going to be starting in about
Exactly.
2 minutes just to get people on. I know that we're talking to different parts of the country. So some people are drinking their coffee. Some people are at their lunchtime, and some people are actually in at their afternoon meal.
Oh, and some people, might be, right. You said it all. What am I thinking?
Mhm. So, like Marie said, she made it to New Year's in Australia.
What? I'm eating
Love that,
breakfast
Marie.
and
I'm
getting
gonna
ready for a
steal
Zoom
that
call.
and remember that now from now on.
Eating Zoom call, women stuff. Yeah.
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi,
Hello. Okay.
New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. We have 6 people watching.
All
So,
right.
and we are recording this, so we will put it up. This is just a little exercise of a soul tribe together for today on this very
yes.
first day of the new year.
I just love it. I love the energy, and I love bringing people together to usher in this new year for us, because I feel like it's going to be just a really great year. And that's the energy I'm going in with, that it's just going to be a really great year. So
Yep. There are some big astrological happenings this year. We'll touch on it briefly, but first of all, we start with Amy. Why don't we start? We got
okay.
So what we want to start with, first of all, is release.
Sorry, I was looking at Nancy's thing. She says she's muted, and I don't know. Does that mean, Nancy, that you need to have us unmute you, or?
No, she was talking.
Oh, got you. Okay.
And she muted.
So I was sidetracked. Ooh, I'm like squirrel today. Squirrel.
It's kind of the energy of the day anyway. Anyway, so what we want to start with, though, is gratitude, forgiveness, joy for the new year, releasing things from last year, making sure as we start with our clean slate. So we're going to do a little bit of a meditation. We're going to start with tapping to about releasing next year. And then we're going to be calling in the energy of this year. Then we're going to do a little fun exercise and kind of go from there, pulling cards.
Cards and stuff. Yeah.
Hopefully you have paper and pen. And we're going to help us all focus and kind of create this togetherness. So here we go.
Okay.
All right, Amy.
All right. So I'm going to lead us in a tapping about releasing things from last year, and then opening and creating spaces for new things, new informations, new blessings to come in for this year. So if you are not familiar with the tapping process, I'll just go over it briefly. Most of you probably are, but just in case you're watching it and you're not. When you're tapping on the meridian points, and it's a place, the meridian points are where we hold in emotions and by tapping on them, it helps us release them. And so we start with the karate chop point here. Okay, and we just gently tap. You can use, and then we moved up to the eyebrow point. Now you can use one hand or two, totally up to you. And just gently tap side of the eye, one hand or two, under the eye, one or two, under the nose, under the chin, under the arm, probably about at your brow line, and then the top of your head. And again, we just gently tap. You don't need to remember. I will guide you when you need to go to the next meridian point, but I just kind of wanted to give you a brief idea of where they are and where you can find them. All right, so if we're ready, I will say a phrase, and then I forgot about this point, and then I'm going to have Kitty be my echo. So she will say it, but then you can say it out loud in your head. Listen to Kitty, whatever works for you as you're tapping, and we'll move through it. What else was I going to say? I think that was it. All right, so you can close your eyes, keep your eyes open. It really doesn't matter. Sometimes I think it's better to close our eyes so we can get really into it, but again, that's up to you. All right, so let's start by putting our feet flat on the floor. Okay, just putting your feet flat on the floor and just bringing up some of that earth energy from the earth star chakra. We're just bringing that up through so we can feel nice and grounded. All right, we're going to take a couple of breaths to just let our body know that we're getting ready to do this tapping meditation. So breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Okay, drop your shoulders and relax them. Just clear those thoughts that are coming into your mind at this time. And we're going to get ready to start tapping on the karate chop point at this time. Just gently start tapping on the karate chop point. Even though it's hard to look back at the past year,
Even though it may be hard to look back at the past year,
2020 has had some blessings and hardships.
2021 has had some blessings and hardships.
21, yeah. I love and accept myself as I am.
I love and accept myself as I am.
Continue tapping on the karate chop point. Even though it's hard to look back at the past year,
Even though it's hard to look back at the past year,
2021 has had some blessings and hardships.
2021 has had some blessings and hardships.
I love and accept myself as I am.
I love and accept myself as I am.
One more time. Even though it's hard to look back at the past year,
Even though it's hard to look back at the past year,
2021 has had some blessings and hardships.
2021 has had some blessing and hardships.
I love and accept myself as I am.
I love and accept myself as I am.
Move to the eyebrow point, please. All the energy from the past year,
All the energy from the past year,
I carry it in my mind, spirit, and body.
I carry it in my mind, spirit, and body.
Move to the side of the eye. It needs to be released.
It needs to be released.
Under the eye. I want to release anything and everything that no longer serves me.
I want to release everything and anything that no longer serves me.
I want to move forward.
I want to move forward.
Under the nose. It's just so hard.
It's just so hard.
Chin. I can release my resistance to looking at the past year.
I can release my resistance to looking at the past year.
I want to feel peace when I think of the past year.
I want to feel peace when I think of the last year.
Move down to the collarbone. I can let go of any and every fear.
I can let go of any and every fear.
I want to be free of the past year right now
I want to be free of the past year right now
and let go of anything and everything that no longer serves me.
and let go of everything and anything that no longer serves me.
Okay, under the arm. It's safe to slow down when I need to.
It's safe to slow down when I need to.
Top of the head. I'm releasing this pressure.
I'm releasing this pressure.
Move back to the eyebrow. I am releasing this pressure.
I am releasing this pressure.
Side of the eye that I have placed on myself.
That I have placed on myself.
Under the eye, the pressure to be perfect.
The pressure to be perfect.
Under the nose, the pressure to have all the answers.
The pressure to have all the answers.
Chin, I'm creating urgency I just don't need.
I'm creating urgency I just don't need.
Collarbone, I choose what to transform this year.
I choose what to transform this year.
I can leave anything and everything from this past year behind.
I can leave everything and anything from this past year behind.
I can trust things are unfolding
I can trust things are unfolding
according to divine timing.
according to divine timing.
Under the arm. This year, I'm becoming my greatest self.
This year, I'm becoming my greatest self.
Top of the head. I can trust my awareness and intuition.
I can trust my awareness and intuition.
Okay. Move back to the eyebrow point, please. I am releasing the pressure to cling to the past.
I'm releasing the pressure to cling to the past.
Side of the eye. Release.
Release.
Under the eye. Release.
Release.
Under the nose. Release.
Release.
Chin. Release.
Release.
Under the arm. Oh, I missed collarbone. Collarbone, sorry. Release.
Release.
Under the arm. Release.
Release.
Top of the head. Release.
Release.
Move to the eyebrow points. I can embrace my past.
I can embrace my past
Side of the eye. And know that it will carry me forward to the future.
and know that it will carry me forward to the future.
Under the eye. I can relax about where I am.
I can relax about where I am.
Under nose. I can be confident about where I'm going.
I can be confident about where I'm going.
Chin. I can let this shift happen now.
I can let this shift happen now,
Gently and confidently moving to the new year.
gently and confidently moving to the new year.
Collarbone. I'm safe.
I'm safe.
There's a new me waiting to emerge.
There's a new me waiting to emerge.
My greatest self is calling.
My greatest self is calling.
I embrace the new year
I embrace the new year
and all the blessings it will bring.
and all the blessings it will bring.
Under the arm. It's safe to let this moment feel happy and joyful.
It's safe to let this moment feel happy and joyful.
Top of the head. I'm feeling fully present in this moment
I'm feeling fully present in this moment
and looking forward
and looking forward
to manifesting a future of success and fulfillment.
and manifesting a future of success and fulfillment.
Okay, you can gently stop tapping. Take a deep breath in, blow it out, and open your eyes when you're ready. All right. And tell me you didn't fall asleep.
All right. So what we're going to do next, really briefly, is we're going to take 3 deep breaths in for 6, thinking about how we're pulling in all of that energy. Kind of close your eyes and see what you want to describe your year as, how you want to see your year. We're going to pull in for 6 and out for 8. And what we're blowing out is anything that may be in our way. All right, so we're going to do that 3 times. So close your eyes. Imagine where you are a year from now and what you want to say about this year. What is it you want to see, feel, touch? All right, and we're going to pull that in from the universe. In for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out for 8, letting go of anything in our way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out anything in our way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Drawing that in for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out for 8, letting go of obstacles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open your eyes. All right, that kind of leads us into the next part. Amy, you want to introduce it? Lining up our Zen for the year.
What the next part is?
We're going to pick our word.
I'm like confused here. I told you I'm squirrel today. I went to bed early, but that energy is just, I'm kind of like, and even though I should be really grounded right now, I'm still like squirrel. Anyway, so picking a word.
A word or a phrase.
A word or a phrase. And the funny thing of it is, Kitty said, hey, maybe we should pick a word or a phrase, something that carries you through the new year that you can reflect back on. And again, when you are not vibrating where you want to be, you can pull in that phrase. It's like your personal mantra. And the funny thing about it is Kitty said that. She heard it somewhere. I heard someone else saying it. I've heard it like 3 different times. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
Kitty, we got to do this.
Joe Monkman did it on our Spirit Communications. We had already talked about it. You heard Deb Silverman say it. I've been seeing it on the internet. And that's a really important thing for this year, because we have the ability this year astrologically, and we'll be doing this with Vibe of the Week tomorrow, a little bit about the whole year. Astrologically, we have the ability to pull out the roots this year, pull the dirt out, put in new dirt, new seeds, and dream into existence, into physical existence, what it is we need. Those are the energies of this year, but it's got to be in front of you, and you have to see it as already done. And I've got a little, so when you were breathing in, what you have your piece of paper for in front of you is to kind of think about what that word is, put it in the middle, and it can be also a phrase. And we were talking about it for IOTS.
Yeah, we came up with a great one.
For IOTS, we'll share it afterwards.
Yeah.
But
definitely it's because like you just said, Kitty, if it's in front of you, if you're looking at it, if it kind of comes your personal mantra that you go to when you're maybe not feeling it, you go right to it and say, nope, remember, this is what I intended this year to be like. You know, that can pull you back up. So put some thought into it and think about what is going to represent what you want to experience, what your intentions, your manifestations, your beliefs, whatever, but make it manageable. Don't have 3 paragraphs, because unless you have a really good memory, which like I don't, you want it something that you can go to really quick and just say, oh, I'll tell you what should I tell them what my personal one is, or should we?
Sure.
wait till-
And what we're going to say is put that word or phrase in the center of your paper, because you're going to
Oh.
build, it's like a vision board. You're going to be building around it this year for 2022. It is your personal mantra. What is yours, Amy?
Well, mine is, and it's funny because I told my husband too, I said, this is my personal mantra for the year. And I told him to go ahead and use it as well if he wanted to. And so now he's using it, you know, he's overusing it like a kid did in school. It's that overuse of it. But anyways, mine is best year ever. Best year ever. You got to have a little swag with that. But just to think that this is going to be my best year ever. So when I am not feeling like it is my best year at that particular time, I can just go, no, this is my best year ever. And, you know, things that come to you that maybe aren't exactly the way you want them, there's a reason for it. So best year ever. That's my personal one. Kitty, what's yours?
Well, I have a story to tell about it. You can't make this
Okay.
stuff up this morning. So I was burning sage to clear the calendar that I use to read all the astrology and to bless the year. And the damn thing wouldn't light. Okay. Kept sticking it. How many here have had that where you go to light your sage and it doesn't want to light, you know, just doesn't light. So I stopped in the moment, repeated my mantra for the year, just closed my eyes, repeated my mantra for the year, had it in the same candle, the same wick, and it took off. I couldn't get it to stop burning. It just blew up and lit on fire. And I was afraid I was going to set my smoke alarm off. It's still smoky in here. And all I did was say the phrase and blow on it, and off it went. And my phrase this year is faith. I'm learning to say this. Adusum, which means is here, very present. Adusum in personal prosperity. Faith in personal prosperity. And that's what I'm going to be saying for my year. To have faith in my personal prosperity, whatever that means. And honest to God, guys, I can't make this up. It took off burning, I guess. I thought, well, there's my validation that's my phrase this year. So
there you go. That's right. The validation.
yeah, validation that, yep, that's what you're working on.
That's
So
right.
we thought we'd start with this. This is all over, you know, now if you can look at your word right
Well,
now.
first, does anybody want to share their word?
Yeah, let's share them.
This is supposed to be interactive, so unmute and start talking, ladies. Come on, I know you have voices.
And online, go ahead. Robin shared hers, so I'll share it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sherry.
I don't know if this is exactly right. I put expectation as the key to my superpower.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right direction I need
Wait
to
a minute.
go.
There's no right or wrong. This is what you say to yourself about this year. So I'm saying,
Expectation shows, you know, an excitement what's to come. So
okay.
There you go. So that sounds like when you say it, it means something to you. That's all it is. All right. And so when you're not feeling that, that's where you go. Oh, wait, but expectation is my, what did you say? again?
Superpower.
Superpower. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay.
Love it.
Because as I walked through with the stage that was on fire in my house, I was saying the phrase over: faith, personal prosperity, and then I actually added magic this morning. Magic.
Okay.
So-
So what I'm going to say to Kitty is, you're on fire.
I was on fire this morning. How about you, Sue?
Okay, Flaming Kitty. Well, the other day you had asked us about a word, and I got lightness with love and joy.
Lightness with love and joy. So
Yeah, and then I wanted to add on, well, and there were a couple things. I'm going to sort of take a little bit of Amy's, but I'm going to change it. Best year to date.
today,
Because
ah,
if I have best year ever, then it's downhill from here. So
Oh, geez, Sue. Now I'm gonna have to, thanks for, now I'm gonna have to redo my best year ever
Okay.
so far. Don't let it be my last. Okay. I
no,
got it.
no limitations. Just you
I
can say
know.
best year ever.
Best
Best
year
year
ever
to date. And then you had also said for us to ask for something to come from our dreams last night.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
Well,
Yeah, and-
that was going to be the next part, but she's our,
Oh.
you know.
I
So,
mean, I can wait because it was,
well, I'm going to ask how your dream last night informed what you wrote. So you can do that.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, I think it did in that it was sort of a nutty dream that I was with the crazy friend of mine, and they were worried about how their bank balance their account didn't balance because there was a transposition. And so it's like, I said, well, I can come and help and whatnot because years of accounting. So balance was the word that, as I came out of my dream, balance. So lightness with love and joy, the best year to date, all in balance.
Beautiful.
I love it.
And is that something you can repeat to yourself when things feel a little chaotic to you?
She's a wordsmith.
Sure.
She can.
Yeah, she's a
Because even if I just go to balance.
Yes. All right. And that's the idea. How am I making new pathways in my brain to go to something different to help myself through the year? All right, Shan, you're up.
Beautiful, Sue.
Beautiful.
My bird is screaming, so you may not want to hear the bird, but.
Oh, I
Wow.
thought you said your word is screaming, and I'm like, your word is screaming.
Oh,
This bird is, I don't know, celebrating Happy New Year, I guess. I don't know. I wrote, I am worthy to receive. That's been really hard for me. So that's my.
there's your bird. Your bird likes it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that too, Kitty. The bird is affirming everything. It's just so happy. Yeah.
It is. It's so happy.
Oh.
So, and
Yes, he's screaming up a storm over there. So I
So-
hear you. We all hear you.
hey, but honestly, is that your bird? Or are you babysitting?
It's my son's bird, but I won't let him have him back right now. So.
So when you hear the bird, you can say your mantra now because they're
Oh, yeah,
paired.
that's beautiful.
They're paired.
Absolutely. 100%. I'm an animal communicator, and that bird is so it's like, yeah. What's the bird's
Well, you know
name?
what? It's all the birds because I think he's screaming because there's crows and ravens out front. And
Crows and ravens.
both
Magic.
crows and ravens, and there's probably 20 of them in my front yard, and they're just talking up a storm out there. So something's going on with the birds.
And what's your phrase again?
I am worthy to receive.
You're receiving. They're giving you information.
Oh
You are
my
worthy.
gosh,
That's
that's
what they're
beautiful.
saying. Yeah, it's now for all of us. We're going to hear "I'm worthy to receive" when the birds go.
Yeah,
So
Oh, that's awesome.
that is awesome.
I'm writing it down. Birds. I'm worthy to receive. All right. Did you have any dreams last night? I should ask Sherry too.
No, I didn't. But this has come up so much last year that I needed to work on. So that's going to be my focus, and I can, receive, all the things. So I can work on whatever those things are.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
you're worthy and you're open. Whatever. Yeah, definitely. Love it.
Thank you. Okay. How about you, Marie?
new doors are always opening.
Ooh, I like that. New doors are always opening.
And I've had wizards stuck in my head. And so this morning, first thing I woke up, because I very seldom remember my dreams. And what I remember was two questions. What magic are you going to create? And what mysteries are you going to unfold?
Oh,
And new doors are always
love that.
opening. Yay. Talk about a message for the year. Wow. That's perfect.
Marie, you're rocking it today.
What was the second part of that last thing you said? You said, what magic are you going to make?
What magic are you going to create? And what mysteries are you going to unfold?
And new doors are always opening. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful message. Everybody's just, yeah, wow. I'm
Perfect.
just so inspired right now and so excited.
All right.
Should we go back to Sherry and see what her dream was though?
Did you have a
before we
dream
move
last
on?
night?
You
No.
didn't?
No, I slept like the dead, so I did not.
So,
Okay.
well, maybe you'll have one tonight with your going in, saying your mantra before you go to sleep at night. That was one of the
Yeah.
things that, last night I heard about faith, say it before you go to sleep. I'm like, okay, I'll say my little mantra before I go to sleep and see what comes out. How about you, Cynthia? What did you come up with?
Well, the mantra is, I accept all that is, I am free.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So there's your centerpiece that you say, I accept all that is, I
Yeah,
am free.
yeah,
Did you have any dream last night coming into the new year?
yeah. The two words for me this year are freedom and acceptance.
Freedom and
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I love the free part. I absolutely love that.
And it kind of
It's
goes with
just, it's an opening. It's a word that just opens you up to anything and every possibility out there. So that freedom or being free. So love that. Really do.
and acceptance seems to be kind of a balance, accepting who I am,
Yeah.
faith, opening doors, all of that,
Mhm.
what is coming. Yep,
Wow.
it seems to be a theme for the year, and astrologically, I'll tell you about it afterwards.
Yay.
Oh.
Cool.
yeah. I did have a dream, and it involved my past, which I dreamed so frequently of when I was working in nursing in the hospital and with people that I've worked with before. And I think that for me, it just symbolizes that there's that part of myself in my life that I just, I don't know. It was like the best time in my life when I was working in nursing. And I think I'm still struggling with trying to figure out like where I fit in now, So and that ties in with acceptance and being free. So
And definitely being free, that ties in with that too.
yeah.
What a great thing then for you for this year.
Well, and it
to
kind of sounds like your
relax.
dream wants you to a little bit to figure, this is what
Mhm.
I'm hearing, to figure out why that was such a good thing for you, and then accept and recreate that you can recreate that freedom, whatever it was in that, whatever that feeling was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very good. It's really interesting how these come through. Nance, how about you?
Nancy's next.
Just a sec, gotta hit buttons. There we go. I have a slight Scorpio energy, so I was doing many things at once. So I wrote down abundant joy was my catchphrase. I am creating abundant joy. This is my best year ever. I am attracting beautiful co-creative opportunities every day
Beautiful.
and managing them with grace.
Grace is
Abundant
good.
joy and grace,
Yeah, abundant joy and grace. I'll write the grace down because I can be a little bit extreme. at times,
So, hey,
often.
that's what but that's what we are. This is a year of self-acceptance and I'm online. Let's see, what do I got?
Well,
I
wait,
have-
did Nancy have anything
Oh,
about
did you have a
though?
dream by any chance last
Oh, I
night that you
dream-
remember?
I dream a lot, often, every night. I dream every night because I tap into my dreams and I play with my dreams. So for anyone that's struggling with their dreams, allow yourself to communicate with your dream space. So have a conversation in your dream, become a character in your dream, and then your dream just expands. So in my dream, I was working with someone who has offered me an exponentially amazing, massive, oh my God, opportunity. And everything was just flowing and growing. And then I woke up at 5:45 a.m. exactly. And I always mark down what time I wake up at when I'm woken with a gentle nudge.
Yeah.
Very,
Mhm.
I say gentle because it's spirit that's waking me, but it's always like, get up now. So that is keep in constant prayerful contact with the angels as you venture into new areas of your life. Give any fears or concerns to them.
I love that.
I do too.
And just so you know, what I do is I add up every time I wake up and see what the vibration is, the numerology, and yours is a 5. So it's fun, creative, freedom.
And that's
So-
what I'm doing. It's wild. It's great. It's wonderful. So thank you.
So whatever you can do to bring yourself back. And the idea of this is, what do I bring myself back to? I'm just going to say this piece of it, even though if I
Right.
don't know what it is. So,
So
on
Kitty, before you move on to there, I want to share like my dream because I set that intention to get something for the group as well. And the weird thing of it was I saw a fork. I'm not sure what that means, so I'll have to go into that. But I also saw a bunch of rocks and they were placed out, not in any particular order or anything, but there were a lot of them.
keep going, Amy.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
yeah.
There were a lot of them, right? These rocks. And so I didn't quite know what the rock thing meant. But then as I was doing my meditation this morning, I heard that the rocks were diamonds in the rough. And so the messages were all diamonds in the rough. And so people are looking at them like they don't have value, but all they need is a little bit of polish, a little bit of shine. And then they were in the beautiful bag and I'm just like, oh my gosh, look at all these diamonds. But so it felt like that was a message for us. We're all finding our way and we need maybe a little polish or whatever. But again, because this is going to be the best year ever, we're still polishing up and we're going to be these beautiful diamonds sparkling by the end of the year. So that was in my dream for today.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like your vision board. And that's kind of what this piece of paper is today, is if you hear another word you want to put with it, just for your New Year's occasionally. And we're going to recommend on the 1st of every month, pull it back out. Just pull it back out from the beginning of the year. What came to you in the beginning of the year? Starting with your own phrase. So we had, Robin said her words this year were limitless and trust. Limitless and trust.
I like that, Robin.
I do too.
Especially limitless. Don't put no limits on it.
Don't put any. Marilyn's were positivity and opportunity.
Oh, yes, Marilyn.
Joanne has my words are faith, on fire, just stop. So faith, comma, on fire, comma, just stop. Hey, Joanne, if you weren't on when we started, I have the same word this year, faith. Mine's faith, personal prosperity. And the Latin word I got was I'm here, spirit's here, to say that and to remind myself that faith it's here, it's already ours. And that's a big theme of this year because cosmically, we have an opportunity to be really looking at dreaming the dreams into existence. Taurus and Scorpio are huge energies. We're changing my values and getting what I need, being able to manifest it. And partially, and that's also because Jupiter and Neptune, the planet of spirit and the planet of expansion, are working together in Pisces to flow. They're very happy there. So you can dream into existence. One of the recommendations I heard, which I thought was really cool, was start small. So I'll give you an example. So last time, like, well, how could I start small? Well, I've been looking for this jar of face cream everywhere. Where the hell did I put it? And what the recommendation was to say, I found the face cream, and then just let it go. Dream it into existence. Honest to God, within 2 minutes, I found the face cream. And I swear I looked in that spot. So, and that's what they were saying. Just practice that skill this year. And something small, because it's really hard to say, I have, a brand new house. Start small until you really see that you bring that magic forward. And let go of that limit, let go of all those words you're talking about, and bring it, but start small.
Sherry, did you have something to say? I saw you.
Yeah, I was just going to say that that kind of goes along with what I said. Faith and expectation are really pretty much the same thing. You're not just floating through life, but you're expecting the best. It is like faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as Robin says, erigato, it's blessing, gratitude in that moment. And you see it as already done. I know that that's a big key of manifesting. And then because you let it go. And
right.
So,
see it as already done, but not how it's going to appear to you.
Right. And so
not how it's going to come, but
and for me, I know one of the things in faith is I'm learning to ask for help. So this morning I asked for members, to see, hey, we're just going to learn to ask, learn to work on this absolutely together. So it's very interesting, everybody's words that they have. So we're going to try something a little bit right now. If you would close your, Catherine's coming in.
Yeah, I just let her in.
So take a look at your word again. All right.
Oh, wait, you didn't tell him our word, did you?
Oh, no, I did tell him our word.
For intuition of the soul?
You want to tell him? Drum roll.
Sure. Well, Kitty and I are former teachers, so we like alliteration. It's kind of like our kooky thing here. And we came up with blissful bridging. Blissful bridging. So bridging as like making bridges, to all that. And we want to do it with joy and bliss. So
everybody,
bridging.
Yes. Following your bliss, what we really believe here at IOTS is that these are spaces to meet and connect and to learn and to cross different bridges, going different places, and following your bliss, joyfully, blissfully bridging, trying to figure out where I go.
I'm having a hard time saying that today, and I'm not quite sure why. Blah, blah.
Squirrel. Well, there's going to be a huge amount of Taurus. So my Taurus friend, it'll be interesting. Which, by the way,
I'm Taurus and Scorpio. And what was you just saying for Taurus and Scorpio? I'm Taurus Sun and Scorpio Moon.
The eclipses are in Taurus and Scorpio this year. The North and South node move into, for the world, move into Scorpio and Taurus. So it's a big energy this year. And the other player that's in Taurus is Uranus, awakening and chaos. And so one of the things to know is this awakening has some chaotic, and we're going to learn to sit with it. And that's one reason why the mantras become really important. That I go back to what is it I want to see and create in this awakening, whatever comes to me. So Uranus is a huge player this year, and it's in that sign of Taurus. So what it means is as I awaken and things get changed around, I can physically manifest something different. I can physically do this in home and who I am and in my body. That's what Taurus energy is all about. And food. Food is going to be a big deal this year, guys. Food. So
Food is a big deal every year for me. So maybe it'll be, I'm going to change that and look at that as maybe better food.
how I
Say more,
nourish my,
Kitty, say more about that food. Say more about that, please.
it's about how I nourish my body. What I see, and it'll be about food change. It'll be about weather. It's going to be, food is a concentration because it's how I take care of my home, and how I take care of myself. So looking at your food, how you feed yourself, it can be physical food, it can be emotional, it can be spiritual, how I feed, what nourishment I take in. That's a big part of Taurus. And the North Node is in Taurus. So it's what your soul wants to learn about. And the full moons and eclipse, they flip, but which is the solar and the lunar eclipse this year. So it's a big year for that. And there's some other bigger energies stepping forth, but including Jupiter and Neptune, expanding spirit, expanding. It's a great year, especially with this Taurus energy, to be in the family, in the body of people that help support you, that feed you, not and nourish you. It is about
Taurus is also about determination. So if you're setting goals or intentions, that Taurus energy will get you there. It's very much about determination, about being very focused. Yeah.
So Joanne says recreating your relationship with food.
Yeah.
And
Good
Robin
one,
says,
Joanne. That's a good way to think of it.
and Robin says fueling rather than feeding. What's
Yeah.
my fuel I'm taking in? And
Yeah.
again, that's on all different levels. And then Marilyn says cleaner eating. Now, interestingly enough, the first full moon of January is always one of the reasons why New Year's resolutions fall apart, because the first full moon in January is usually in Cancer. Cancer is the sign, the emotional sign of mothering and nurturing and doing all those things. So a lot of emotions come up to release in that full moon. And so a lot of times people's resolutions fall apart because emotions step through, and that is how people kind of lose their way. So know that this part in January, part of the reason for mantras is it's to use it to keep going rather than a resolution. What fuel is it I need? Your words are the fuel for your body that you're looking for, the fuel for your spirit, all of those things. So Taurus is about, I like that, the fuel that you're using, the foods, the fuels, what determination am I stepping in? All of our souls are being called at the higher level to be looking at that. So, and you can dream it into existence because Pisces and Neptune want you to flow with it. This is a great time for astral travel, to be interacting with your dreams. I love, oh, Nancy disappeared. I love what Nancy had to say about how she goes into your dreams. Again, take this mantra before you go to sleep at night, just saying it to yourself, thinking about your day.
Well, and another thing too, Kitty, I want to say about the mantra too, is that it can also be ever involving, you know what I mean? Because you can start that way, but new things, new experiences, things come in and you might tweak it a little, but I think the point is just having that focus to go back to with those intentions of, what you're trying to, create or how you're trying to be in the year. But I feel like it might shift a little. You might add a word or something like that as you go through the year, and things come in and things change and stuff. So,
and record it when you notice it. Joanne online says balance, fuel, and feed when you are caring for your inner child. That is true this year.
Very nice, Joanne.
People, everybody jump in. This is not, if you, anything that resonates with you that you want to say, you don't have to stay on mute online, please do. This is like a meeting of a tribe of minds, if you can think back where you were a year ago. Just
Kitty, you were going to do something else with this, right? On the paper? Or are you getting to that? Sorry.
Yeah. And that's what, if you can think back where you were a year ago, and look at, close your eyes for just a minute. Try to go back to January if you can. Go back to where you thought you were and just sit there for just a minute. You can see where you were, who was around you. And now we're going to slowly step into January. Slowly step forward, February. Take a breath. Slowly go into March. Anything that happened in March. See if there are obstacles or things coming forth. This is last year now. April. Just taking a little inventory of your year. May. Take a breath in. Out. June. See yourself in June if you can. July. August. See where you are, take a breath. September, coming into that fall. October, Halloween, the fall. November. December, we just went by. Okay, now look at your paper. List an obstacle you saw and something you accomplished. Just put it down kind of on what you're looking at, because you're building. That was a building block of last year. You look at where you were and where you moved to. It's part of your focus for this year. Maybe some magic happened that you didn't even occur. For me, I didn't start January thinking I was going to buy a piece of property in Maine. But somewhere in there, I let myself have a dream that came forward. What happened in last year that you might be willing to share that was a change, a shift, something you saw? An event that was very different for you. Robin says, I'm not even the same person I was. Maybe that's as you walk through the year, you see what a different person walked through that year.
Mhm.
Nice, Robin. That's so true. To just be able to see that development of yourself, your emotions, your feelings, your accomplishments, all of that. I love that.
She says she's coming much more from her heart space now.
Ah,
And the reason we're putting it on that piece is so we always remember where we were. That's something we celebrate.
right. Bringing that past in to help us create the future, definitely. Sherry, did you have something to say? Did you want to share something?
Well, it's not very spiritual, but my obstacle is weight. and
Okay,
health.
Sherry, stop. Okay, no. Don't say those things before you say what you want to say.
Okay,
Just
this
say,
is gonna-
here it is. Don't say, well, it's not yet. Don't do that.
okay, this is going to be magnificent. So
Yay!
my obstacle is my weight and my health. And as the year went on, I started exercising like 4 months ago. I haven't seen a lot of results, but I know I'm healthier. So that's a big change. So
Wait a minute. You have seen results. I'm healthier.
Yeah, that's your results.
yeah.
That's your result. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And confidence has grown, and putting myself out there has changed.
Yes.
So
Yes. And your cards.
in my
Your
cards,
decks.
yeah,
Yes.
I created
Yes.
2, and I was just so proud of myself. So
Exactly. Yeah. And maybe that wasn't even in your minds at the beginning of the year. Maybe it
Wasn't.
was, but you brought it forward and it's beautiful.
yeah,
Even
it
your
wasn't.
group,
So.
Sherry, your group, your card group. My
Yes.
goodness.
Oh, yeah, my card group, and I've been working on that and trying to think of new ideas. And
Mhm.
so I think I
You're
have
very
some.
creative. You've done a lot of really fun things.
Exactly.
And that's the momentum.
Celebrate.
You celebrate that because you bring that momentum forward. Sue, you want to share anything when you think of where you came through? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of interesting as you went through that, because there was a big change that I did make, and my mom being sick and all that, kind of goofy stuff like that. But as we came to November, I saw myself as this wilted flower that, and the wilted flower began to rise up and turn its face to the sun and start coming back. It was like, to me, that's, I cut the cord with something that had been holding me back. And I mean, physically, I cut a cord, and coming back alive to growing and blossoming. So I'm rather, that was really, really neat that I saw that. So that's cool.
Hey,
And Sue, I concur. I've seen that flower. I've seen that flower grow and brighten and I love it. So I'm so glad that you see it too, because other people see it in you as well.
Oh, thanks, hon.
Yes.
Yeah, I just, that was just, and that just popped in, in meditation's cool, neat stuff comes. So I'm like, oh, okay. It's kind of an affirmation that, yeah, you did the right thing.
Look how we can see your whole face, Sue. You didn't
Yes.
start out doing that. Oh my goodness. I
you would only
love
see this
seeing
much.
you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
so
even how you
I-
appear on screen.
I bought a camera is what I did for my regular one. So that's where it's made a difference.
But it made a difference. You can be seen.
Mhm.
Yes.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
I
did.
know. I'm still, that's the huge part we are gonna,
No,
we're
no,
letting
no.
go of the huge.
No.
no.
Letting go.
Stop it.
This is why we're a soul group. We bring each other up. We just say thank you.
Thank you.
Arigato. And if
Yeah.
it's
Arigato.
just
Love it.
arigato.
Love
Maria,
it.
have anything you want to share? You got a big smile.
Well, I went through the fog of not being able to see to having cataract surgery, where everything is so bright now, and colors are so vivid. And it's weird how your mind or your body forgets how bright and vivid things are when all you see is a fog, and it's I'm going to say it's enlightening, but that's not really the word that it is. It's being able to start anew with a fresh look on things. And little things seem like they're bigger things. And big things almost seem smaller. It's a topsy-turvy type of thing. So it makes it more interesting, just to notice things that weren't noticed before, if that makes any kind of sense.
No, it
I
does.
like
Oh, it makes
perspective.
perfect sense.
I think it's a great analysis of the year, how the fog lifts, the colors come forward, but it's in the small details. One of the things that Taurus wants you to do is look at the simple. That life can be simple. It does not have to be, that is part of Taurus. It's very grounded, very simple. Red is a huge color this year for grounding. Red and third eye, both. It's a balance because it's Scorpio, change and ground. So
And I love it too, Marie, because it was like a physical and a spiritual thing. You could physically see better, but spiritually it made you think of seeing in, that way as well. So beautiful how it kind of, it just, the physical thing encompassed everything. I don't know. I don't know how to, I'm not saying it right, but I think it's beautiful. Now I sound like you. I'm not saying it right, but I get you. I absolutely get you. And I love that those cataracts opened up everything spiritually, emotionally, so.
And being a Taurus too, it's that stubbornness of not wanting to give up and fight through things. And I also heard, and I don't know if this is true, and Kitty, you could probably, that the tourists were the last to truly wake up. And that this is the year that tourists are going to really step up and speak their truth. So it's going to be kind of hang on to your hats, boys and girls. I guess we're going to have something to say. So,
Marie, this is why I relate to you so much, because I'm a Taurus as well. And a lot of times it takes a physical thing for me to see something spiritually. So now I know why I exactly feel you, because that's what happens to me. It's a physical response first, and then it opens something up spiritually. So now I get it. Fellow Taurus.
And what this Taurus energy is, the South Node Scorpio, the Scorpio is changing, pulling out the roots, getting rid of the old. And the Taurus's job this year is to put the new in, plant the seeds, not bring in the new dirt and the new seeds, the simplicity that life can be. They're determined. Lowest version is stubborn, but it's a determined of what is, and again, because we've got this ability, dream the world you want to see and see that you are already living in it. You make that choice to be there. Anybody else want to share what they got coming through their year?
Cynthia, or who else hasn't? Sue, did you say something, anything?
Yes, who did?
Or I was looking at, I said Sue and I was looking at Shane, but.
But I will add that the flower that I saw was red.
Rooted.
So that's cool. And Marie, I want to, how is your horse? What happened when the farrier came? What happened, hon?
Well, I had the vet come first. And she is on heavy antibiotics, penicillin. There's not a lot more they can do without extreme measures. And at her age, I think that's more cruelty to anything else. The farrier, when he came, he did everything he could for her leg, for how she stands and stuff. And it is a time just to be blessed with each moment that I have with her.
Go on out and give her a big, wrap your arms around her neck and give her a big hug and a kiss from me.
Okay, I will.
From all of us.
Yeah, from all of us.
Because when I was talking to the vet tech that was here, while the vet was looking at her, she was talking and it was comical because the horse was shaking her head yes and kind of agreeing and the woman kept looking at her like, what's wrong with this horse? And I said, well, she's listening to what you're saying. And so I said, you weren't paying attention to what you were saying, so you were letting yourself just go, and she was just going with the flow of everything, and it made it quite comical and added a lot of laughter to uplift the whole day. So yeah, it turned out to be a wonderful day.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
That's good. Yeah.
All right, Cynthia, you're going to share?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. For this past year, what I became aware of is that I started getting a lot better with boundaries and speaking my truth, and my mediumship skills improved a lot. So, and I also, say, constantly, it's not about my will, it's spirit's will for me. So I just every day say, you know, work through me, whatever, wherever you want me to go, whatever you want me to do. It's not about my will, it's what your will is for me. And so that's what I noticed over the year.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, one of the things I've enjoyed is getting to know you this year, and I've seen more and more joy come from you. You bring a lot of joy when you come into a group, and I have really gotten to see your shift into your freedom with your boundaries. As you've gotten more boundaries, you have seemed really much freer.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Nice.
anyone else like to share what they did as they took a look at their year and how it kind of goes into their mantra for this year?
I laid down some boundaries too. Big ones. So
Yeah.
Good job.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Hi, Catherine. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I came in late, so I don't know what you all did. However, are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I just wanted to share, and I suspect that I need to say this. So I did that exercise, and basically in January, I didn't know where the hell I was going to be living, because I'd had enough of the rehab where I was a house mother, but I didn't originally go there to do that. I went there because my business tanked and I was living in guest houses. And money began to run out because I had left where I rented because I didn't have enough money. And so that was in my last 5 months at the rehab, because I left in May. And they kept telling me, you will be out of here by May. And me thinking, yeah, right. And where am I going to go? During that time, I had improved, deliberately worked on my relationship with my mother. More communication, more verbal communication via the phone, because I'm not a phone person at all. And because for me, once I connect with you, spirit to spirit, that's fine as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned. So it went on to me, and guess what happened to me? She called in the first week and said, when are you coming down? I want to see you. If you will have any idea how unusual this is in this woman, that was such a shock. And I thought, what? So I told the manager, okay, I'll be good. We made arrangements when I can go so that somebody else will take over. But during those few months leading up to May, I had begun literally clearing out my dorm. Okay, I had a separate room. But clearing out anything that I didn't want at all, because I don't like stuff. And I wanted to remain with my 2 bags that I have had traveling with me for the last 10 years. 2 bags only. And but I felt something in the air, because it was, I was living in the country. It took 2.5 hours to get to town. Oh God, I hated that. You can't get anywhere quickly. But anyway, long story short, that trip was made in 90 minutes with the same amount of traffic, the same switching from the coach to a taxi. There was no difference at all, but I could feel as if there was a wind pushing me forward. And I kept thinking, but I'm feeling something in the air, not that. I mean, when I checked the time, I just thought, okay, all right. I get it. When I got here that night, a curfew was called. No movement except essential workers. So I got stuck here. Well, I say stuck here. And that was the move, because after a month, there was no going back. So I asked my mother if I could stay here until, and she said yes, and she wanted to make arrangements because there's a huge living room to make a separate bedroom. I said no, 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 it's quite all right. No, thank you. Because living under this roof, even though it's a renovated house, has very little positive feeling for me, positive memories. So moving right along, what I discovered is I fell in love with myself. That's what I mean deeply and passionately whenever I see this woman in the mirror, whenever I glimpse her as I'm passing by, I have to stop and say, oh my God, she's so beautiful. You are so beautiful. When I do videos, because I do Facebook Lives almost every day, and because things come out that I did not plan, I always have to review and then do some trimming where that on the parts I don't want shown before I distribute it. And I have become enamored, enraptured by this human being. And that is how my year went. That's how it ended. And I suspect that this year, 2022, is going to be even more significant because I already have, let's see, it's Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune that have been talking to me, and I have been feeling this power, I mean dragon power, literally rising, rising, rising and expanding. It's amazing. So that was my year.
Yay. Well, and it is a year for that imagination to, it's not imagination, it's there. How do I bring it forward? You know, I can dream it into existence. And what a lovely thing to fall in love with yourself. Robin says that too. Carrie Farmer had to leave and she said it was a lovely conversation. Joanne, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You were online.
Yes, I decided I was going to roll out of bed. I was one of those people last night that were really up later than usual, dancing my little leggies off, and woke up this morning and was like, oh my Lord, I felt like I had a hangover. And interesting story, I don't drink, but I was around a lot of people who do. So I take on energy. So when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, now I have to let go of everyone's hangovers because this is not going to work for me today. But I do want to share, if that's okay.
Yes.
The message that I was just receiving for the group, and I think it's also, of course, for me, is your physical pain, should you have physical pain, is a reminder to keep moving. So when physical pain shows up, it's not to surrender and just be still. It's to move your body, because the more we move, even though, yes, it's going to hurt, but it's going to hurt even if you sit still. So why not embrace in movement, something you enjoy, put music on, whatever the music is. And as they say, this mantra has been flowing around probably the last couple of years, dance like no one is watching. And when you do, you move back into joy. And just like love, joy is a high vibration. And most of the time when physical pain shows up, it's because we probably fell back into our unconsciousness of some sort of uncomfortability that leads to the pain. Now, of course, if in my case, sometimes the physical pain comes on because of the movement, due to a restriction I do have, but I'm spiritually working on that because I don't believe there's a restriction, but that's my belief system. But going back to the reminder that as you move your body, you will feel joy, and joy is the highest vibration of love. And I truly believe this year is also about self-love, falling in love with yourself and when we fall in love with ourselves, if each and every one of us took 5 minutes a day to give ourselves love of what we want somebody else to give us, this world will really begin to fall in love, and everything else that's below that vibration will start to fade away. And I do believe that's a really, it's a big message, but I think it's an important message for 2020, because as I was watching, and I do numerology too. Kitty mentioned it earlier. I think Kitty mentioned this earlier. Maybe I heard her mention it, maybe she didn't. But 2020 is a 6 energy vibration. And because it's a 6 energy vibration, we are all, every one of us, consciously or unconsciously, are going to have health in the back of our mind one way or another, whether it's something we are working on to be healthier, or something that we're working on because it's the collective energy. So if you yourself may not have anything to work on regarding health, you might be thinking about it because there's others that are working on something that's relating to health. And because we're all connected, it's really important that we all charge ourselves like we do our phones and our computers, charge ourselves up to focus on health. So those who are really struggling with health, we become their light, we become their pilot, we become their charger, and they'll have the energy and the endorphins to turn around and want to do it more because they'll feel our energy. And I think when we come together to do that, 5 minutes a day, it's going to make a difference for everybody. And we are going to start to see more and more people getting healthier, but they do need our support. So if you think, well, I'm healthy, my eating habits are perfect, I meditate every day, I keep my thoughts positive, I don't really have to focus on health. You're not doing it for yourself. You're focusing on health for somebody who does need some support. And that's what I would like to think that we're all going to do and come together to focus on health. 5 minutes a day, not a lot of time. And believe me when I say that 5 minutes will channel into a lot longer time, because you'll start to enjoy that movement. And I think that's important for 2020. So that's the message. It was really long. I was like, wow. I was like, wow, do you want to write a book here? Because we could. But yes, I think that's the message. And that 6 energy is going to be very powerful, with the help of, as Kitty always speaks about, the astrology. We're gonna have a lot of support, which is one of the reasons why we can't fail, because we're gonna have a lot of support. Anyone who thinks they're failing, they just have to come back and realize that we have support. There's always going to be someone who's going to sit there and support you on this journey, and just focus on just healing. Your body and your brain, your mind is a very powerful thing. If you tell yourself you will heal, guess what? You will heal. If you live into what the doctors are telling you, you will not heal. Because again, and I don't want to knock down doctors, but that's what they get paid for. They get paid to have to fill out that prescription. That's their job. So therefore you have to tap into your intuition and say to your intuition, if I have this, what am I supposed to learn from this? Because sometimes there's a lesson there to why you have whatever it is you need to heal from. And when you focus on that as a lesson versus being something that you have to heal from, or this torturous thing, that the why me part of it does turn itself around. And you will start to heal because your mindset changes. And I think our mindset is extremely powerful. And if we can really spend more time in a more positive, uplifting vibration, that itself helps us feel good. And that's what this year is all about, is really shifting the mindset out of, oh my God, I don't feel well, to, oh my God, I feel amazing, even if you don't feel well.
Yeah.
Because there's something about you that feels amazing. You just might have to dig a little deeper to find that. And heck, if you can't find it on yourself, chat with a friend who feels really great and take on their energy. Steal their energy and say, you know what, since you feel so damn great, I'm going to pretend I'm your energy today and take on what they're feeling. Why not? It won't hurt them. So that's the message.
Thank you. And something you said, I'm going to add to my mantra, is I cannot fail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put that on my mantra for this year. So that's just, I cannot fail. So I'm going to add that. You said that, and that just kind of like snapped. I went, ooh, I'm going to add that. Anyways,
Yes.
I just wanted to say that, but great message and absolutely spot on, Joanne.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thank you.
that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
The mantra that I have to the cannot fail, the only way you fail is if you don't try. So as long as you try, you cannot fail.
Right.
So thank you.
Any thoughts from the Facebook page, Kitty?
I'm going to answer Catherine's. That what we
Oh.
did, Catherine, is we started, we kind of closed our eyes and we came up with a word or a phrase that we want to see describe our 2022 year. You know, what is it we want to concentrate on and bring forth? Like, so when things aren't going, we go back to, you know, a lot of them were about, mine was faith. A lot of them were about, magic, can't fail, best year ever. You know, well, how do you want to describe your 22? What is it, the skill that you, so that's what we were talking about. We kind of put it in the middle of the paper, and then we went back to look at what had we accomplished in 2021. Like you said, you fell in love with yourself, that you continue in this year, that you probably didn't necessarily set down last January and said, that's what I want to do. So even though we have a mantra, there are things that will come forth this year that we will bring forth that will be like, oh, well, that was part of the mantra, but it's the next step. And yeah, Joanne, because this Taurus energy is the body, you know,
Yes.
and 6 is the house of the body and systems and Virgo and all of that stuff. So this year is about the physical, bringing in physical, which also means people who are not awakened are going to be a little more confused. You know, that some of the shifting, the deconstructing has to do with reconstructing something that is better for us. And so part of our job awaken is to hold the space of what is it we want to see to help people be able to access it, including ourselves. Online, Robin says, Joanne, she agrees with you 100%. And she had also said, Catherine, she loved what you had to say about falling in love with yourself. And that is a thing. We're here. I do think it's important that we continually come back and support each other, because even though this is online, I don't know about you, sometimes this is more the reality of my physical life than kind of my day-to-day, sometimes the day-to-day things that happen to me. And so one of the things about becoming more present of my body, erogato, gratitude, how I feed it, is also going to be to bring it more in other part of my life. My, you know, this house I live in, So.
Kitty, may I add something?
Sure.
Yes, in regards to the planets. And I think you mentioned this earlier as well, where Neptune and Jupiter are both in Pisces energy. And I myself so love that because I have a Pisces sun. So the minute I heard that Jupiter was shifting over to Pisces, I was like, oh, this is amazing. But then I also had to remind myself, and thank goodness it's not in retrograde. Because when we think about Jupiter's energy, when it comes to body weight, because as a medical astrologer, one of the things that I help my clients with is to understand why they might have a challenging time releasing weight. And that has more to do with our astrology. And Jupiter, if you happen to have, and again, like I said, I have a sun Pisces, so it's a water sign. If you happen to be Scorpio or Cancer, whether it's sun, moon, or rising, and Pisces for that matter, that's all water. And Jupiter is associated with the water energy. So those of us who have water in our chart, due to Jupiter, there could be an expansion of weight that might take place as Jupiter's in Pisces. However, it's not in retrograde, so that's a good thing. But be mindful that Jupiter can and may very well do that. But that's also a connection to becoming more aware of your emotions. And I believe I typed in earlier about balancing the fueling and the feeding. So when we are looking to feed ourselves, we want to be sure we're feeding ourselves for the purpose of recognizing our inner child and not necessarily just indulging in something sweet because we're looking to replace the sweetness that we're not seeing in our external world. So just to reflect that the minute you decide you want to feed, ask yourself, am I feeding because I'm missing something externally? And if you're missing something externally, take the time to see what you can do to replace what you're missing externally, as opposed to looking for that sweet food. I'm not suggesting not to have the sweet food, but I am suggesting to evaluate it first before diving into it. Otherwise, do what I do. I keep a calendar and I'll put on the calendar that, okay, yesterday I might have had some sweets, and I'm gonna be mindful of how frequently those sweets show up on my calendar, because again, with Jupiter in Pisces and those of us who have a water sign, we may very well, at the end of, let's say, the month of January, we might get on a scale, if you so dare, I don't, and say, oh my God, where do these extra pounds come from? So just be mindful because of Jupiter being in Pisces.
And the Cancer moon, the Cancer full moon, which is the other water sign. But what the other thing to understand about Pisces and Neptune is that it is addictions. It is the signs of addiction. Because at its highest, it's the ascended masters. At its lowest, it's suffering. And so often addictions are connected to wanting that higher energy vibration, and it appears as addictions, food addictions, alcohol. If I were saying I was struggling with any addictions right now, it's addiction to internet at times. And how do I balance? Because I also make my life there too. So it is a time to be aware of anything that becomes too extreme, to not get so into the dream that you have to distract your whole body with addictions. So, it's interesting energies. And yet we have this Taurus, which is the beauty of Taurus and Uranus. It wants to ground us. It wants us to be here. It wants us to be very simple in moving forward. Maybe, Marie, it's the last being awakened, but it is the most powerful when it is awakened. It is going with determination. So
I think I saw Shan unmute. Shan, did you want to add something? Was it a while back? I saw you. Did you unmute for something?
Oh, it was a while back. It's fine.
It doesn't matter. You can still say
go
it.
back. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I think it was when Kitty was saying that she spends a lot of time, on the internet or here. And I was just saying that, and maybe spiritually in our physical, earthly, daily life is different. And this kind of stuff just feeds my soul. Where if it's not in my regular daily life, this is always great for me. So
Yeah.
uplifting.
I understand that, Shan. I say that to Kitty quite frequently, like, I need some 5D. It's just been too much 3D in my life, But so I understand what you're saying. It feeds your soul.
Yeah. Well, and that's why actually that spirit of Pisces, very spiritual, can lead to addictions, because people want that good feeling. And that's part of what addictions are. They're dis-ease that you're trying to answer. So, it's interesting. It's always that fine line in a continuum and stuff. So, well, it's 2:03, Amy.
Yeah.
What else were we going to do?
Well,
cards.
Yeah. And
We're
you
gonna have
said
everybody-
something about, let's just do some cards.
We were going to have everybody pull a card for the energy. If you brought your cards, whatever deck you're called to. What deck am I called to? I think I'm going to do crystal.
For the energy, Kitty, now you're saying for the energy for the new year, for the energy for What, or just saying for the energy?
I think you ask the question you want to and tell us what it is when it's your turn to share your card, what you asked. So I'm going to do the energy for the new year that I can use or IOTS can use and see what comes.
Those are different, but yes, okay.
It's kind of hard for me sometimes to split the two. So I got 2 cards. So
Is anybody ready to share their cards?
I am.
Okay, go ahead, Joanne.
And I sort of giggled. I don't know if anybody heard when I pulled the card. Well, my question that I asked when pulling the card relating to my business, my actual studio, is will I be renovating my studio to expand my business, or will I be renovating my dad's basement to expand my business? And now when my cards, if a card shows in reverse, it's a reminder to pay attention to the chakra, that the chakra needs a little work, and also pay attention to the message. And I believe I shared one of my words that I'll be using as my word of the year, which is faith. And that's the card that showed up.
Oh.
To have faith. To have faith. And 5 and 6 is the 11. And in numerology, it's the master healer, healing the relationship that I have with my business. You know, in whatever direction that it's supposed to go in. And I actually heard this at a reading that I've had a couple months back. Whatever direction that the universe decides to want to take me, either way, it's going to be an expansion in itself. You know, I just have to learn to not look at it as, well, if I'm if I'm using the word downsize, if I'm downsizing my business to go to my dad's basement, in my head, it's like, oh, well, that's not a good thing. And I'm going backwards. And I've been doing a lot of work on understanding that, well, you know what, maybe that's not a bad thing. And it can be a good thing in reference that sometimes, and I visualize the bow and arrow, that sometimes you got to step back in order to swing it forward so I can get myself back to where I need to go, or go to a different direction without having all the additional things that go on in my head regarding my business. And after all, I mean, I think a big part of this is I've been in my location for 20 years. And it's like, you think about it, it's like a parent, and I'm sure many of us are parents here, you know, reference to like when the kids move out and you have that empty nest syndrome, and you have to start figuring out if you want to stay where you are, if you want to downsize to go into a different place. So 20 years, you know, which in my studio. So having faith and just trusting that wherever the universe is going to take me, either way, I have to renovate, because due to I had a flood a couple of months back, you know, due to the weather conditions we had here. So there are some things that got a little destroyed from it. And I'm contemplating on, okay, do I want to renovate it? If I'm going to be leaving, it doesn't make sense to, but if I'm supposed to be staying, then it makes sense to. And if I decide to go to my dad's, there's renovations that got to get done there too. So either way, I'm renovating one place or another and mastering, healing the relationship with my business. So that's an interesting one for me.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Sherry's gonna go next.
Yeah, I drew 2 accidentally or on purpose as well. The first one is, it adds up to the number 1, which is new beginnings. And what I'm getting is, it says, stop and take in the view, take stock of the treasures you've earned. And then the second one was, I liked this. It's the number 5, so it's change. I can get it back a little. And it says, where you are is where it's at. And it says, stay until you are divinely moved. So with the numerology and these cards, it's like it's telling me, you know, take a pause, you know, appreciate what you've had and where you are. And you will be moved and there will be change. And that, and the where you are, where you're at is just being present, I think. Being present at every minute while you're looking forward to the future.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Did you set like an intention? Was that for your energy?
Yes,
or-
it was for my energy. I didn't
Yeah,
know
okay.
if we were supposed to do it that way, and it was
Yeah,
my
it doesn't matter. I
energy.
just was wondering, but that's good
And
for you.
you
That
know,
sounds
to me,
perfect.
it's taking stock of where you are, thanking for where you are, and knowing that where you are is where you should be. So
It was whatever question
it.
came to you that you needed an answer for to record on your paper to take a look
Yeah.
at as you go through.
and these really
Right.
speak to me, and I hope they speak to someone else.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Who else would like to go? Okay, Marie.
I pulled two cards too. The first one was the Holy Grail. And what was weird is the second one is I am present. And they both speak of the divine love and allowing not only your love to overflow to others. And the more you do this, the more the divine love will flow into you and keep you present in what you need to do. And that not to look to the outside, to stay inside, because you are the answer that you're asking.
Wow.
So
Beautiful.
No, that's a great message. And I think everyone can relate to that. So great.
Okay,
Catherine,
Catherine.
want to go next? Or
Yeah, I just have something to say in response to what Marie just said. It's wow. Because my mother is in the process of making the transition. It is terrifying, my sister. Me, I think it's absolutely natural and normal. And she, you know, so I have been developing a relationship with her to shepherd her onward because she's afraid of everything. Early this morning, probably around 3, I saw a vision of her in the upper room, as I call it. Just one massive space. The doorways aren't really doors, they're just opening, and you can see the clouds, which just tells you how high up it is. You can just see the clouds up there. And she is there on her walker. And she's shuffling with her walker towards the opening. And I said, because right now she's in the mountains with her son. And I said, you don't need the walker, but just to be on the safe side, to assure you, you can lean against the wall and put the walker aside to see if you can walk easily. And she was so surprised she could. So she put aside the walker, she stood up straight, and she began walking towards this massive entrance. And I said, you know, there's nothing to fear. You can just look outside to see what it is, because her brother is calling, her only other sibling. And he was born on Christmas Eve. He died 2 years ago. So she looked out, she inspected all the clouds. It was so beautiful, you know. And then she came back inside and she said, you know, I'm not ready yet. There are still some things I have to organize, which is okay. But that is what Marie's message brought to mind immediately. And I thought that was so beautiful. It connected me with her because that's my purpose here right now. I can't leave. Well, not can't. It's not the right time to leave. And I've come to terms with it. It took 6 months until she does what she has to do. So I just wanted to share that. That was beautiful and so perfectly timed and aimed at her and us. But I might as well read my card at the same time, right?
yes. please.
Okay, this one, my question was, what else do I need to know for the new year? I think that was the question, because I did a reading this morning and it was all about justice. It was all about balance. It was all about standing firm and speaking your truth and using your determination to power ahead because you've lived too long in the dark, in the murk, and now it is time to forge ahead. Interestingly enough, that was the reading this morning. Interestingly enough, this card, let's see, this card is 9 of Wind, and it is what some call in Dream Dust the Devil card. This card is absolutely fantastic because Wind is about thoughts, and 9, of course, we know is endings. And it's about dancing with chaos or dancing with the monster. The only thing is, the monster has to have an invitation to enter. So I understood immediately. It's all about the doubts, my doubts and fears, and the pull and tug that because I put myself in it, the mind is working overtime, and it's creating all sorts of horrific scenarios, etc. And self-doubt is big there. But the beauty of it is, none of it is real. It's not the reality. The reality is completely the opposite. And that is what is fantastic, because this card is saying that all you need to do is turn to the sunshine because it is waiting for you to dance. That's it. You are not alone, and you need to remember that, because all this card is saying is you are simply at a crossroads. That's it.
Nice.
See
That's
the
a nice
smile?
message. Mhm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. I never looked at it as a beautiful card before. But then again, I don't think I've ever drawn this card for myself.
Huh?
It's usually been for others, but their
Yeah.
messages have always been different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So
That's a
just
great
dance
message
through
for
it.
you.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Anyone else want to share a card they pulled?
I'll share mine. I got 2 because that seems to be the theme. Everybody gets 2. And I just ask for, just for the group, for everyone who's watching or will watch it later, however it may resonate with you. The first one I got was the 2 of Pentacles. There we go. The 2 of Pentacles. And what I see in this card here is that she is juggling. She seems to be trying to manage a lot, juggling, getting things in order. So it feels like for me, this is about balance. And I've heard that word a lot today. And a lot of people saying that they need more of that in their life, or they're trying to figure things out. So this is representing that if you feel like you're in that juggling state, what do you need to do to create more balance, to manage it better? Now, some of you, maybe the message is you are doing that right now, and that's what you need to be doing. But I just heard balance a lot, so this was pretty appropriate to come out. But she seems like she's juggling, they're kind of going all over the place. So what do you need to do to bring those pentacles into balance for you? And when you do, for all of us, we got the Star card. The Star card. And the Star card is just expect miracles. And so for this next year, that's the expectation to go in with. That might be even something I add to my mantra. Best year ever. I expect miracles. I can't fail. Isn't that a beautiful one? To see how I said, I got a feeling that some mantras would change, and I guess maybe it was just for me. but you know what? It's going to be the best year ever. I expect miracles. I can't fail. But this, when you get your life into balance, when you're not juggling those pentacles and when you're starting to come into balance, this is when the miracles can come in. This is when they can come in to your awareness, and to be aware of ideas or inspirations that you get that that just pop in your head. Because where are those coming from? Those could be coming from spirit, and they could be coming from spirit to be guiding you to where you need to be going. So expect miracles. So I love it. Get yourself in balance, open yourself up to receive the miracles, and that's when you're going to see them. So that's what I got for anybody who's watching this now or watching this on in the recording. That's your message for the year from me.
All right. I'm watching the time. Sue, I'm going to have you go. I have to go at 2:30. So I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that, you know, everybody has Sue. So go ahead, Sue.
Yeah.
I got one here, the Deer of Delta.
Oh,
These pretty little babies are basically, without any force, you can overcome even the most extreme negativities. Your real nature is gentle, which is powerful in its own unique way. You don't need to become something that you're not. And then also,
I love that.
Arcan Barbello. I have that one. And it's about being creative and powerful as a means to express your soul past, your path on that your soul is taking. Sometimes you might feel limited by stereotypes and things, but just delve deep back into who you are and what you are. And there's the other side of these.
Oh, those are
they're
beautiful,
beautiful.
cards. Love them.
They're a lovely, lovely deck.
Yes, and a great message too.
Oh, and
Keeping it short because I know you gotta get on your way.
Yeah,
But
we have
if you
to
want-
leave it.
It's been wonderful.
2 hours have flown by.
Yeah, Shan, did you have, Shan's got her microphone off, so let's maybe finish up with her, or, and you know, put it in the chat or whatever too, if you
Go
if we
ahead.
don't
Sue.
get to you. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Shan.
Shan.
Well, I thought this was an interesting card because I was just talking about how this community feeds my soul, and I got "You Are Not Alone." It's the Starseed deck,
I love that. Oh,
and it says isolation, physical connection, and community. And I was just reading in the book, and it talks about our increasing online world. We can be connected to more people and yet still feel more alone. There is so much we don't know about the energetic side effects of things like social media and what it's doing to our auric field and all that. I just thought this was so interesting. And it just says, in what ways can you open yourself up to the people who are physically in your life, those you truly know? How can you reach out to the people in your life physically? And I just thought that was definitely a message for me to kind of crawl out of my safety cocoon and reach out more. So I loved this card.
I love it too. I think everyone can kind of relate to that too.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's pretty amazing, actually. All the cards have been pretty spot on.
Whew.
Yes, they all have.
So,
And my energy is just from all these great cards and all these great messages and all you beautiful souls on here and watching the live. This has been amazing, and for me personally, just very affirming of that we are doing the right thing with intuition of the soul, and you know, and just I just appreciate it so much, your energy and your love, and I can feel it, and it's gonna carry us through the whole next year. I can just feel that. So thank you from me, from my bottom of my heart, to all of you.
Thank you for helping us start off our new year this way. This was really, really nice. Thank you.
So what we will all want you to do to kind of take this out. Cynthia, did you want to add anything? Did you pull a card or anything?
Well, I don't own cards, but I just went and got a little book, and it was Metaphysical Meditations by Yogananda, and I flipped to a page and I just had a little paragraph, but it's really not. It just says, "I'll conquer pride by humility, wrath by love, excitement by calmness, selfishness by unselfishness, evil by good, ignorance by knowledge, and restlessness by the ineffable peace acquired in the stillness of inner silence."
Oh, I love that. That's
I do too.
beautiful.
Love it.
That's the message.
Oh, I love it. You know,
I do too.
what I pulled for the group was about sensitivity, gentleness, compassion, the gift of vulnerability, and self-forgiveness, learning to walk together on the path together. And it's raw morganite. So I'm going to be buying some raw morganite to be taking a look at this. So we thought what we'd kind of like to do to take this out is we're just going to close your eyes for a minute. Just for a minute. And put your word or your phrase in your heart. See it there, feel how it feels. Take a breath in. And when you blow out, send that wish and that feeling out of your heart space around and cover the whole world. Hold that space for all of us. That vibration for this year. Take a breath in again. Hold that space. Pause. And then let it go and cover the whole world. Send it out from your heart around the world. And because 3 is synthesis, one more time. Pull that in, hold that message in your heart. Open up your heart, let the breath go and send it all around the world. Whatever it is you want to hold for this year. Amy, any last words? Aloha.
Oi.
Oi. Until we meet again.
Aloha, oi.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.